What's up, it's Johnny King, and for those of you that live in Denver with me, we've enjoyed a foot of snow last night and today. It's beautiful. I've been in the house working on non-urgent but very important work, asking a lot of deep questions of myself, setting myself up for an even better 2020 as I have had in 2019. And one of those questions I've asked myself is, if I had more time, what would I do with it? A lot of people say, oh, if I had more time or if I had more money, I'd go to that retreat you're offering, Johnny, or I would get into more of the work. I just don't have the time. I just don't have the money. And I get that for sure. I certainly do. But it's been a fun question for me to ask myself and to answer throughout today, because you know what? I think the older you get, the more you realize how quickly life goes and how precious, time can be. And so it's a good question to ask, and I want you to explore it. And I've been asking those questions because I want to make sure that I take this next year and I level up from where I was this year. I set some lofty goals this time last year that, quite frankly, I didn't really think that I would be able to achieve. I didn't know how they were going to unfold, but I just put them out there. This year, or I should say this coming year, I've spent a lot of time today down on my whiteboard downstairs and on my computer setting goals for 2020 that are even loftier. They're scary. And yet at the same time, I'm like, well, what else am I going to go for? Like, what's the point of life? If I had more time and all the money in the world, would I just, move to Hawaii and sit on the beach and sip Mai Tais? Like that gets boring after a while. I do feel like genuinely our life is fulfilled by both how you invest in others and how you invest in yourself. Do you continue to grow? Do you continue to grow relationships? How do you push? Because there's certainly things in my life that I wish were different. Certainly my life hasn't unfolded like I thought it would, and yet at the same time, I love the uncertainty of it. I love the spontaneity of it. And so for you, I want you to ask too, if you could have your life designed any way that you'd want it to be, what would it look like? If you think about it right now, you are the youngest version of yourself that you'll ever be. And I like to think about that because it's just like, age isn't anything but a number, and time is one of those assets that is the only asset that we all have the same amount of moment to moment. And certainly tomorrow is not guaranteed. So give yourself that gift to sit down and for 10 minutes, just write out in a journal or on your phone or on your computer, whatever the case might be, what you would do if you had unlimited time to just do whatever you want to do. If you didn't have to work, if you didn't have to do the things that you often spend time doing, whether it be distracting yourself or keeping yourself busy or doing the things you have to do to pay the bills. If you had all the money in the world and all the time in the world, what would you do? And I then would encourage you that in 2020, you start to figure out how to do those things. But then be very careful how that little voice in your head says, like right now, you might be like, yeah, right, Johnny. Like if all I could do was just snowboard all day, that would be amazing. And yet there's people who do that, There certainly are people that do that and teach that and they love it. So I don't know. I want you to just think those things through. Push yourself for 2020. Take some time during this holiday season, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's, over the next 45 days roughly to see what you need to let go of. What do you need to stop doing? As I often say, what do you need to continue doing? And what is something new that you want to start doing? I think those are some great things to think about as well. So hope you've enjoyed the snowy day if you live in Colorado. If not, hope you are enjoying the week leading up to Thanksgiving. And my deepest heartfelt gratitude for my friends, my family, all the men that I've crossed paths with in this year. And I'm definitely looking forward to an even more powerful 2020. So thank you for being a friend and a fan, and we'll catch up soon. Have a good night.